And we're back. So the point that I want to hammer home right now, it's a central point that has been lost upon a lot of heads. And I think this is going to create a lot of illumination to some of these sort of opaque concepts. Because we all know a lot of the advice on Twitter that's spouted is level one, right? Very few people have been able to usher you beyond level one on Twitter. Level one health advice, level one fitness, level one game. Everything's fucking stuck on level one, right? Obviously, I'm one of the few accounts on here that has attempted, I've made an earnest attempt to take you way beyond fucking level one, because level one sucks. Life's not fun at level one. Life just begins at level one, right? You get your fitness in check, you get your fucking health in check, you get your finances in check. That's just when the game begins, right? There's no fun really in that process. And most people are just chugging along, just trundling along, capped at level one. They don't see anything beyond that. So let's go into a few things, okay? And this is all sort of related to the video that I just dropped. And the first thing I want you to understand is when it comes to health and it comes to aura, right? We talk about aura, which seems like this mysterious celestial thing that there's, it's a concept that gets disregarded because it's deemed as somewhat mystical. But we all do know aura is real, right? We know when a killer walks into a room, um, it's the physiognomy is a real thing. That's all related to aura. Like you judge a book by its cover is actually the best advice of all time, right? You should judge a book by its cover. Now, here's the thing. What happened in modernity, and this is like a huge pitfall. People are kneecapped because they've been liver punched, in the sense that people are under the impression, especially the youngsters, that if you eat your steak and eggs and you lift weights, that magically the totality of the human spirit is just going to kind of form and coagulate correctly. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You're missing a central part of the human experience in order to create that nexus point, which is the primal lifestyle, okay, is sold heavy on Twitter. Everyone wants to be fucking primal. Everyone wants to be tan. Everyone wants to be fucking jacked. Everyone wants to eat like a fucking predator, right? Everyone wants to die biting the throat. But there's a few massive flaws in the story. And I'm going to fill those with cement for you right now so we can be on the same page, okay? The first one is you have to understand that there's a genuine need for pressure in order for the human organism to respond appropriately, right? Some of you will know about hormesis, which is the concept that if you ingest small doses of poison, your body has an upregulated response, and in turn, it actually creates a beneficial health effect, right? We talk about low dose nicotine. A lot of poisons, if ingested in the correct dose, have a hormetic effect, okay? Everything is like this, though, and this is what you guys have missed. If you, and I've used this analogy before, okay? If you think that intermittent fucking fasting is making you a fucking super predator, you're dead wrong, my friend. You're dead fucking wrong. That these ancient men that you're trying to emulate, they had a genuine fucking hunger when they were fasting. You know what I mean? Like there's a psychological component to this that is missing when you go on an extended fast, but your subconscious knows in the back of your head you got 90 ribeyes in the fucking freezer. You know what I mean? It knows you got a pantry full of food. So you're not really getting the totality of the experience and the effect of true fasting. True fasting was a terrifying, petrifying experience for ancient man. You know what I'm saying? He had to wake up in the morning with a low hum of anxiety and I want to say even dread about having to go on the Great Plains and go take down a buffalo. You know what I'm saying? So the anxiety, that cocktail, that admixture of all those different emotions and the worry and the anxiety, that actually had the hormetic effect of health, right? There's vitality in that. There's life force in that because it was a genuine need. So your little intermittent fasting gimmick ain't doing jack shit because your subconscious knows you're well fed. You got money in the bank. You got a fucking wallet, wads of cash in your fucking wallet. Your fasting shit, you're not getting the full effect. You might be getting the 30% of the effect, right? Now we can extrapolate this everywhere. Let's extrapolate this to business. How the fuck are you a primal man when you got to put on a clown suit every day? You got to put a clown suit on every day and fucking put on clown shoes, oversized clown shoes, wear a name tag, and show up to a job that you hate. So a boss can barf orders down your fucking neck all day. Do you think that's a primal man? Do you think that biological organism is genuinely gonna have the vitalistic response that it's in search of? The answer is fuck no. The answer is fuck no. Because the primal lifestyle, which is it has obviously been repackaged and sold in modernity, it actually is the correct way to live. It is. It's the fundamentals of it are tried and true, and they've been moored and tested through the sands of time, and they've survived, right? Because these primal principles 100% are true. But you're fucking dancing around in a fucking clown suit all day, business wise. You know what I mean? You're chintzy, you're stingy, you're fucking worrying about prices, you're looking at price tags, you're afraid to take a risk, you're afraid to take a shot, you're afraid to fucking be a machine gun artist and paint the town with fucking shots and ammunition. That's a massive fucking mistake because look, if you're fasting, sunning, lifting, doing all that, great, you got the foundation. But primal man, understand this, was in absolute terror every day of gathering and collecting resources. You know what I'm saying? So here's my point. My point is this, look, and I'm a fucking sterling example of what I'm telling you, right? By all accounts, I have one of the most stressful lifestyles of any motherfucker I have ever met. I have been in fight or flight mode for 2 decades straight. It feels like I've never stopped running. You know what I'm saying? I've been running away from myself for 20 motherfucking years. And by the way, all men who are on the steppe of greatness run away from themselves. That's why therapy is bullshit. That's why these modern clinical medical diagnoses are bullshit because the ancient men that we all fucking aspire to be through their virtues and through the written works that they left behind, none of them paused the game. None of them blew the whistle on the game. All of those motherfuckers outran their mistakes. You know what I mean? It's a fucking foot race. You're in a dead sprint with fucking your hooves thundering and clapping on the fucking dirt, and you're basically outrunning yourself. Great men outrun their past. You are always, as a man, you are always running away from something. And I will tell you this, the things that you run away from the most, or the things that you run away furthest from, are the things you crave the most. That's another little fucking tidbit of parochial wisdom that'll fucking haunt you to the grave. You know what I'm saying? Any man who's running away from home constantly, deep down in his heart, that's where he wants to be. But men are sojourners. We're sojourners. We're hardwired for this shit. So the business component, the risk taking component, because I don't give a fuck what sector you're in. Every male, and you know, Odysseus is a fucking exemplar of this. Go read the fucking Odyssey. Odysseus is that archetypal man, the gambler, the inventor, the industrialist. That's the guy. That's the guy that we're all in search for. That is literally at the crest and the mantle of the masculine imperative. Everybody wants to be fucking Odysseus. That motherfucker had balls of fucking titanium. He had genetically engineered cantaloupes for nuts. Everybody wants that shit. Okay? So if you're truly in search of the primal lifestyle, and I'll circle back here, let's do a 180. Look at my life. Okay, I'm a high stakes gambler. Been doing this shit 20 years. I've torched more money than most of you will ever make in your entire lifetime, probably combined with dual income and your kids. That's how much money I have amassed and torched on my path to perfect the art of figuring out how to beat the books. Okay, I've done it. Lifetime, I'm easily down over 60 million. 6D, 6-0 lifetime. Okay, that's gambling since I was like 17. offshore books and shit. Okay. By all accounts, by any mainstream account, I should be the most leather faced, withered flower in the deck. But let's talk objectively here. Go look at my fucking video. Do I look like someone who's falling apart? Nah, I just turned 36 a couple days ago. Look healthy as fuck. Skin is fucking shiny. Skin is fucking golden. I'm 36 years old and I haven't even hit my fucking prime yet. But I'm under more pressure than you could even fathom before 5 a.m. Before your coffee beans are done and roasted. I've had to put out 12 or 15 fires before you even roll out of bed. And that's my daily life 24 fucking 7 because things are always going wrong when you're taking risks. You know what I'm saying? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's a fucking fact. So my point is, I am the embodiment of the primal man because I wake up in the morning and I only care about today. Yesterday is fucking gone. That's got to be my superpower, by the way, is that amnesia. As a man, if you don't have amnesia, you're royally fucked. You're in a really, really fucked up position if you're harping and dwelling on the past. That's like the number one thing that you want to ferret and root out fucking immediately, and it's only done through practice. It's only done through practice because what happens is when you forget about what happened yesterday, it builds this insane confidence in your own ability and in your heart that you yourself are in control of your life and you're the one trucking the reins and you're going to pull yourself and bootstrap yourself out of hell if that's where you chose to be. It's that fucking simple. My point is this. On a daily basis, I am unafraid, okay? And I want to say this. I'm unabashed about throwing whatever it is that I have available to me at risk. Don't give a fuck because I know for a fucking fact that if enough time elapses, I'm coming out on top and I will get everything that has been churned and burned and I will get it back in spades. That is the way I live. I live like a primal man. I wake up in the morning and I go hunt for my resources. And my point is I'm doing the intermittent fasting. I'm eating good. I'm eating well, right? And I'm lifting and I'm doing all the things that you motherfuckers prescribe. But I have the one thing that you motherfuckers would kill to have, which is that fucking risk and stress tolerance that I've built up over 20 years. Nothing fucking phases me anymore. I've seen everything. I've literally seen it all. I've seen the most grotesque, gruesome events that you could possibly fucking fathom. I've journeyed within myself. I've dealt with the trauma and the depression and the heartbreaking, harrowing pain of being a man and trundling through to try to be somebody in this fucking life. And it ain't easy. Life ain't easy. I don't give a fuck what your genetic code is. I don't give a fuck if you're born with a fucking 30-yard head start amongst your peers. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. The motherfuckers who peaked in high school, those dudes are fucking roasted, by the way. Look at anybody that you knew who was a stud in high school. They're a fucking shell of themselves now. Peak too early. You don't ever want to peak too early as a man. That's for women. Women are supposed to peak early. You know what I mean? They're supposed to peak early and get their cake and eat it too. But that's not how it works for men whatsoever. So my point is, I've been under absolute bone crushing stress. Like when I squat 300 pounds, believe it or not, it feels like 450 just because of the emotional lacerations that I've fucking withstood. You know what I mean? Like imagine pouring your heart and soul into something. You know, I'm in the gambling realm. It doesn't matter how good I am. It doesn't matter how good my squad is. Variance happens. Things go awry. You know, the train does go off the rails sometimes. And investing a decade into something and knowing that it could all be taken away from me is a very, very daunting mountain to climb. But it's also in my nature. The game was never supposed to be easy. I don't believe that. Humans are excellent problem solvers. But that's an entirely different game. If you're a man and you've solved all of your problems, you know what happens? You start stressing about not stressing. Like I've seen people tell me to my face that they have a huge quagmire that they need to work through. And then they'll come back to me a month later and be like, yo, I solved the problem. And they're miserable. They're more miserable than they were when they had the problem. And I'm like, what's going on here? Well, I figured out that motherfuckers, when they don't have enough stress, they start stressing about not stressing, start worrying about not worrying, start stressing about having nothing to stress about. And that's the kind of stress that makes you age like spilled milk, by the way. And it's not even about the aging. It's not even about the aesthetics. That wasn't my fucking point. My point is my vitality and my life force is restored. You know what I mean? I'm still trucking. I'm putting up numbers in the gym for a natural athlete at 36 that should not be physically possible with the shit that I've experienced, with the subjugation and the hell that I've put my body through. I have a lot of fucking miles on this body. My bones, my tendons, I've crushed them. I've put myself under heavy load and strain every day of my life. Every fucking day of my life, just to access and hold on to that portion of the human spirit that I'm telling you about when the chips are down, that's going to get you through. That's going to get you through. That's why I don't like working with squares. That's why I don't like working with people who are gun shy. It's why I don't like working with people who are 1 foot in, 1 foot out, tepid, half-hearted. That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. And that was my whole marketing angle on the heroic mission. You motherfuckers, it went right over your head. You didn't understand the heroic mission is heroic simply because it's about the fucking journey. It's about the fucking journey. It's about learning true life lessons and burning off the fake aspects of yourself, the masks that you're wearing, and figuring out who the fuck you really are. If you get outside your comfort zone and you take a risk, like many people have with me, people have fucking placed large wagers with me alongside me. These motherfuckers took a daring leap of faith to better understand themselves and better understand life because I'm holding their hand the entire motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? We get into a tough spot emotionally. Who do you think's on the phone consoling people? Me, because I have the life experience. I've been here before. You know what I mean? I've been doing this every fucking day since some of you guys were in diapers. You know, with that fucking commercial, I'm a big kid now. I've been doing this shit for a long motherfucking time. So yet again, the grizzled veteran experience prevails, but it's because the biggest piece to my health puzzle in myself, that vitality and that life force. It's why I'm such a fucking it's why I'm so antagonistic towards supplements and steroids and TRT and crutches like that, because I know the human will. I know how powerful it is once you tap into your own spirit and you become obsessed with solving a problem. I know there's nothing you can inject that can compete with that. Not even fucking close. I mean, I cannot sleep in. I wake up in the morning and I am spry. I'm fucking bipedal. I'm on my fucking feet quickly. I'm ready to rock and fucking roll. And it doesn't matter how much sleep I'm on because I love life. I have an absolute passion for the game of life. I love this shit. I love the game. That's why I wake up and fucking play every day. And I think a lot of you motherfuckers are missing out on that vital piece of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're sheltering yourself from risk. You know what's crazy? ADHD motherfuckers, want to shelter themselves away from risk. They use risk to shelter themselves away from being safe. You know what I mean? They'll fucking upturn every motherfucking stone to look for a war chest and look for treasure underneath. There's no stone that's not going to be unturned to a motherfucker with ADHD. That's where the superpower is, because ADHD, the only way to cure that motherfucker is risk. You know what I mean? You got to constantly have your planes in the army flying. You got to constantly have those Gatling guns fucking spinning. You got to constantly be on deployments. You got to have your capital moving. That's the most powerful effect. That's the health effect. And it's hilarious because everyone's like, dude, you're under so much fucking stress all the time. How the fuck do you lift so much weight? It's like, motherfucker, you don't understand that the stress that I'm under is self-imposed. It's fucking self-imposed stress. I am in charge of it, which is what makes it very healthy and revitalizing. It's a restorative game that I'm playing. My health is fucking perfect by all measures at 36 years old. I can fucking do this till the end of time because I'm living in accord and harmony with my fucking nature. You know what I mean? That's the fucking primal man. The fuck are you afraid of? What the fuck are you afraid of if you lose a little bit of money? Like, money comes and goes. You motherfuckers don't understand that money should 100% be a byproduct of chasing status and power. Status and power are 99 times more motherfucking powerful than money. It's what you guys don't get. There's broke motherfuckers walking around town getting treated like the fucking mayor at every city they go because they have the aura. They get treated better than the fucking billionaire. That's really what you should be in search of. It's the power and the influence first, and then the money should come tertiary. The money is an auxiliary fucking component. And the money's a drug, by the way, because it changes the way you feel. When you don't have it, you feel like this. When you do have it, you feel like this. First thing you got to understand is money's a motherfucking drug. It's the most powerful drug on earth. Breaks apart families. It changes the way motherfuckers feel about everything, life, themselves. That's the last place you ever want to fucking be. And I knew this from an early age. That's why I didn't fucking care about taking risks, because if you take it from me and I don't have money, I'm still me. And I don't want to be anybody else. I love me. You understand the difference? So if I go bust, though, getting laid, getting women, having fun, doing the things I ordinarily want to do is not a fucking problem. I can do it. I can navigate around in the exact same fucking fashion. It's a fact. I've fucking proven it to myself 100 times. In fact, I'll fucking argue I was getting more play when I was fucking broke. You know what I mean? Because you kind of get that jerk boy hunger that just kind of bleeds into like the scene that you're in. And that's the whole thing. And then, you start thinking about life in these terms and you're like people don't understand life is supposed to be hard for you as a man. It's supposed to be very difficult. Like if you're waking up in the morning and you don't have monster problems to tackle, then you're never going to rise to the occasion. You're never going to be a superstar. It's never going to happen. You only rise to the level of the problems you have. If you don't have massive problems, you ain't going to solve massive problems. You're going to be playing low stakes. You're going to be playing low stakes the rest of your life, which, hey, look, don't shoot the messenger. I think that's fucking hell on earth. Getting stuck at a low stakes table perennially? Who the fuck wants to live like that? At some point, you got to ante up and get to the big boys table. And that's where all the fun begins. And then once you get to the big boy table, you know what the real art form is? The real art form is to play at the big boy table the same fucking way you played at the little boy table. Meaning, just because the stakes are higher and the consequences are greater doesn't mean you change your strategy. Doesn't mean you bitch out. You got fucking $5 at the poker table, you're gonna play loose. Well, you know what? If you got 150 grand on the poker table, you play the same motherfucking way. That's the secret to life. When the stakes get higher, you start dating hotter women, you're in a higher position, higher status. It doesn't mean that you start to fucking pussy out. That's not the way the game should be played at all. You should play with the same zeal that you had at the low stakes, because the upside is so much higher. You know what I mean? Losing, this is what people don't understand. Losing is finite. Do you guys understand that? Losing is finite. There's only so much that can be taken away from you in life, which is why I don't think people attack big goals or take risks or whatever. There's only so much you can lose. It's finite. You can only lose so much money, right? If you're at zero, you're at zero. You can't really get less than that. You can be in debt, but like from an actual practical perspective, losing is finite, but gaining is infinite. Gaining is infinite. Winning is infinite. There's no cap on that. There's no cap on how much you can gain in life. There isn't one. There isn't one. So it's all about focusing on the upside and the ceiling rather than the floor. And most motherfuckers are just terrified about going through the floor. And I believe that's the incorrect way to live, especially if you call yourself a primal man. How are you going to call yourself a primal man, but you got 4 money managers earning you 4% a year in some fucking TD America trade account? Like, what's primal about that? What the fuck's primal about that? You ain't taking a fucking risk. You're getting some fucking bond yield. Okay, I mean, sure, it's a fucking viable strategy. A lot of Americans do it, but like, are you really fucking pushing yourself? Are you in control of your life? Probably not. To me, that just sounds like a hellish way to go. Like, I don't give a fuck how much money I have. I would never, ever, ever fucking plug my shit into some fucking tiny little fucking yield, because I feel like I'm putting the onus on somebody else. I'd rather take a shot in a project or fucking go into a team with motherfuckers and go in guns blazing, see what happens. Because that's where all the life experience is. And that's what this young generation, this Gen Z, is really going to be in a deficit because everyone just wants to be famous. Everyone wants to be famous. I mean, look at the fucking tweets on Twitter. Some of this shit's just, it's not only is it not legible, it's not even fucking comprehensible. Like, you got 18-year-old kids dishing out life advice. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Get in the back, buddy. Keep your mouth shut and learn something. You know what I mean? Before you start spouting off. Everyone's in on the fucking personal brand train. But you guys did it backwards. And I warned you about this a year ago on Spaces. Go on SoundCloud. I fucking called it. I said, motherfuckers are going to try to build a brand first and then use the money they make from the brand to go get life experience. And that's not how you build a personal brand. You build a personal brand by doing really cool shit in life and then coming online to share those experiences. That's the way you fucking do it. But these guys are addicted. They're addicted to the fucking dopamine. They've created a fucking a garb of lies, and they'll never be able to back it up. That's why people don't do Spaces. That's why people aren't doing media presentations. Because they know when you speak in front of a fucking audience or you get on camera, that whole fucking jig is coming up real fucking quick. People are going to knife through you like fucking butter and figure out who you are. The voice tells all. The voice tells all, and that's why none of these motherfuckers can do voice notes. You just got a bunch of fucking schmucks just hiding behind their little fucking account. Writing is dead, by the way. I do think long form content in a writing capacity probably survives a little bit longer. But if your idea is to just sit on Twitter all day and just if you think the written word is going to carry you to some fucking magnanimous brand, you're dead wrong, my friend. The game has changed. People want to see your face. People want to hear your voice. People want to know you can speak. People want to know you can back up your thoughts in an open arena. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always take questions in Spaces, because I enjoy the fist fight. I don't need to plan anything. You can fucking ask me any question live on the spot, and I will go off the fucking cuff and improvise, because I want to show my audience I'm about it. I don't fucking cower from questions. That's why I fucking do them extemporaneously. These are fucking skill sets that are going to massively pulverize and pummel the younger generation if they don't fucking step to it and start getting this shit down pat. The other thing at the end of my video that I wanted to address, which I thought was a very powerful concept, is the need for revenge. We live in 2023, fellas. 2023. And look, you have to understand that a lot of these emotions or experiences that we revere from history, some of those principles have changed because the landscape has changed. You know what I mean? Look, if you lived in the fucking 1700s and you had a brick house in the middle of the fucking countryside, right? Let's say you fucking rusticated and you lived in the fucking countryside and you had a little chicken coop and a fucking stable of horses. Well, I got news for you. If your house burned down or a fucking burglar came and fucking stole the chickens out of your chicken coop, or your horses were unleashed and they ran away, you were pretty much dead to rights, my friend. You were pretty much a fucking sitting duck, because time fucking 300-400 years ago was very slow, right? Let's have a conversation about time. Let's just catch up to speed on this. No pun intended. Time, let's understand how time works. Time is rapidly speeding up. That's a fact. Time is dilating. I'll tell you why. If you look at history, okay, the sensation of time as we experience it as humans is based upon the simultaneous coagulation of events that are occurring at once. If not a lot of world events are happening at once, the sensation of time feels slow. But because we live in 2023 and there's a multitude of events that are occurring all over the world, the population is much bigger. Events are happening. Any event, a micro event, a macro event, doesn't fucking matter. Events are happening. Molecules are moving rapidly. So the sensation of time as we know it now, time is going faster. That's a fucking fact, because more events are happening, right? More money's being moved. More people are speaking. More whispers are echoing through the fucking hallways. More content is being driven. Therefore, time is actually rapidly going faster, okay? Here's where I'm going with this. The motherfucker who gets his chicken coop raided and gets his fucking brick house burned down, maybe he was bequeathed that over fucking generations. He's toast. He's toast. So the perpetrator of that act, 100%, go for his fucking neck, because your life's pretty much over. Motherfuckers, we live in 2023. If relationships don't work out with women, if relationships don't work out, if projects go south, if fucking businesses blow up, there is so much technology right under your fucking nose. You just build a new boat. You just build a new boat. Look, in my book, I share a ton of backstory. I've had outrageous deals go south. I've been fucked on tons of deals in my life. Even when I was fucking 21 years old, my motto was always keep it motherfucking moving. Just keep it moving. I'm not wasting my time. There's so much to experience. There's so much opportunity. I'm betting on myself. I'll just build a new fucking project. I'll go find a new friend. I'll go find a new bitch. Doesn't matter. That's the fucking correct way to handle it. Especially we're in 2023, fellas. Look at you have a fucking phone. You have a business in your pocket. You know what I mean? A pop-up shop in your fucking pocket in the form of an iPhone. You can start anything now. Now. You got tablets, iPhones. Everything is so fucking interconnected. It's so easy when things aren't working out just to pivot and go in a fucking different direction. Go build a new ship, motherfucker. The fuck are you worried about? But it's an inversion. It's an inversion. You know, like, for example, you know, talking about even like petty forms of revenge. If someone blocks me on Twitter, the last thing I'm ever doing is getting an alt or opening up some fucking sneaky little tab to go spy on them. I don't give a fuck if someone blocks me on Twitter. But you have these inverted males now who act like females. When you block them, they become obsessed with you and they start fucking creating all these alt accounts and shit, commenting, spying on you at all times. Like a bitch, literally like a bitch would do. You have to understand, stalking, like the concept of stalking was always a feminine thing. Because women go crazy when a man they love leaves them. That was misappropriated. Like men, that whole craze in the 70s, 80s and shit of like male stalkers, that was a complete anomaly. That was never supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like that was a fracture in the zeitgeist. That was a very unusual, and if you look back, it all makes sense. It precipitates sort of the inversion of the sexes. That's sort of when the gender lines started to get blurred, when you started to have male stalkers. That is a feminine fucking thing. To obsessively check on a bitch who doesn't fuck with you is absolutely bizarre. I've never done it. If a chick don't fuck with me, no problem. I'm going to keep it moving. Like, I cannot understand why you guys are fucking stalking their social media, constantly trying to fucking see where they are. That is fucking feminine behavior. It's feminine behavior, and it's a bleed out of energy, and it's fucking permeating every other aspect of your life. So cut that shit out immediately. That shit's absolute fucking nonsense. And I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, too. Like, when someone blocks you, just keep it fucking moving, brother. Like, what are you doing? You know what? Like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? Shit's bizarre as fuck. So, the crux of the topic here is that if some of you are paying attention, everybody's a gambler. Everybody's a gambler in some capacity. Life is a gigantic fucking risk. Every time you step your fucking boots out onto the street, it's a fucking risk. So everyone's a fucking gambler. Now, because it makes no sense to live like a fucking native, obviously, because I do believe you have to flow with the times. And like I said in my last space, modernity is offering a lot of handouts that you will miss if you're not paying attention. There's a lot of freebies and a lot of handouts that modernity does offer. I fully believe in taking advantage of technology. 100%. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Living primally while taking advantage of technology, that's the golden middle that you want to strike. That's the golden middle that you want to strike. I said, what did I say before in a couple other spaces? I said the real world is dead. Look around. It's relatively true. Everything's online now. People are finding love online, businesses online, most money's made online. So it's like when they say touch grass, it's actually a pretty fucking delightful metaphor, because what they're really telling you is when you touch grass, you're just recharging to get back online. It used to be different. People were in the real world and they used to come online to blow off steam. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to come online as a recharge. Now it's the opposite. The real world, you go touch grass, put your phone away for a couple hours, you're just recharging to get back online, because that's where the game is right now. That's the frontier. You know what I mean? The physical world has been conquered, but the digital world, there's still frontiers and shit. You know, frontiersmen and fanatics and sort of that old, Cortesian spirit. A lot of that shit is going into the digital realm because the fucking physical realm has relatively been conquered. So you see where all this is headed? So we're all fucking gamblers. Everyone's taking a risk in some capacity. I just happen to be on the most extreme end because, like I said, the foundation of my philosophy is in health and salubrity. Filling your cup up with as much health as you can so you have massive reservoirs to go out and lay it all on the line for something that you believe in. And if you have piss poor health, then you're leaving a lot of money in the bank and you're leaving a lot of gas in the tank as well. I believe in expending yourself fully. I mean, truthfully, the way I live my life, my testosterone should be sub 100. Should be. It's what a clinician would fucking tell me. But I guarantee you it's not. Guarantee you that shit's robust as fuck. I'm gonna pause for like 10 seconds. I gotta go get a cig real quick. So anyway, the maximum health thing that I'm talking about is extremely, extremely fucking important. Like what kind of pressure do you put on yourself on a daily basis? Because that has a hormetic effect. That has more of a hormetic effect than anything you can possibly put your eyes on. And that's a fact, as long as you're in charge of the stress. So I do think men, look, the rite of passage right now, because I've always said this, society does not give you rite of passages anymore. They're dead and gone. Tradition's gone. Ritual's gone. It is what it is. We're in the age of transhumanism. Embrace it or die. You know what I mean? It's not return to tradition. It's reject tradition. Tradition's not coming back, boys. It's just not coming back. As much as you fucking ail for it and wail for it and fucking punch the sand over and over again and get on your knees and look to the heavens for a ray of light of hope that the virgins and the traditions are coming back. I'm telling you, buddy, that era is dead and gone. That era is dead and gone. And if you don't double down on the fact that we are going into AI and transhumanism, look, it kills me too. It pains me that we're here. But you have to adapt to the circumstances that are before you. Because, like I've always said, idealism is feminine. Idealism is a feminine modality to go through life. Men actually grapple with reality and look at the circumstances that are in front of them and they deal with that. The correction will happen, fellas. I'm telling you, the gender roles are 100% inverted. Men are women, women are men. That will spawn a new, brand new, endearing, charming, extremely mighty and powerful sect of men who will come in with a mighty iron fist, maybe wrapped in a velvet glove, but that fist will come thundering down upon the mess that has been created, and the order will be restored. That's gonna happen. Probably not in our lifetime, but it will happen. Eventually, traditionalism will fucking come rearing its head again. Obviously, everything's fucking cyclical, right? They call it the fucking Viconian recirculation. That's a fucking James Joyce term, which means the philosopher Vicus talked about how you can literally study these eddying whirlpools of history that constantly replay themselves. You know what I mean? Like, there's only 12 themes, if I recall. There's only, like, in any story, there's only fucking 12 themes. You know what I mean? And every story has a MacGuffin. Every story has a Deus Ex Machina. Every story has a mulligan. Every story has all of these plot devices, literary devices. You know what I mean? And then let's just keep fucking punching through here. Let's talk about fucking conspiracies. One of the things that really fucking just agitates me on like a visceral level is the idea that, people say they. I fucking hate that term. When someone says they are doing this or they're trying to make us weak, stupid, fat, and dumb, I'm like, who the fuck is they? Okay, the Illuminati, okay, Joe Biden, whatever. They. All encompassing term, very vague. Don't like it. But what I want you to understand is that first of all, I will tell you this. There's no entity, I don't care how powerful, you want to call them the reptilians, I don't give a fuck what you believe. There is no entity or organization on Earth that has the leverage to attack an entire global population. That's just that no one has the leverage to go at people that way. A lot of the conspiracies, a lot of the shit that you see going on is a simple product of economic pressure. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like you think that there's an entity that's actively trying to make you stupid, weak, dumb, and fat. But what you don't understand is that's just a product of capitalism. That is the blowback of just simple, run-of-the-mill, laissez-faire capitalism, where people cut corners and people cut costs, and then obviously you get weaker and weaker products. You know what I mean? Like people cutting corners with seed oils. They figured out that industrial oils are cheaper, and when you fucking make French fries, it's a lot fucking cheaper to use industrial oils than it was tallow. So, like, you don't understand that a consequence of you getting sick is just simple fucking economics. It's not like they invented canola oil on purpose to make you ill. They invented it for profit margins, motherfucker. Everything's about profit margins. It's just what everything boils down to. So when you look at it that way, you're like, maybe it's not so conspiratorial. Maybe this is just the capitalistic game. Maybe we're just in the late end stages of capitalism, and this is what it looks like. Profit margins are getting squeezed. Everyone's getting wrung out left and right. Competition's getting sparse. Here we are. Strap in. You know what I mean? But the point is that even if there is a they, even if there is a mystical wizard shooting thunderbolts at you from his staff on Mount Olympus, you are ultimately still in control of the products that you buy and the things that you entertain. Like, I don't give a fuck if someone wants me to be weak, fat, stupid, and dumb. I wake up every motherfucking day and choose what I put in my body. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a grown man. I don't give a fuck what they are trying to do. You know what I mean? I've never felt limited by the they in my entire fucking life. That's not an experience I identify with. I have never walked around town and felt limited by a they, by a mystical body. Not real. Not real, my friends. Start looking at fucking capitalism. Start studying economics if you really want to see where all conspiracies generate from. It's all about money. Everything. Profit margins. That's it. It's the reason why. Fuck, my food's here. We got to end this. I'm probably going to jump this shit back on in 30 minutes because fuck, man, I can keep going. I have so much fucking content to share with you guys, but I got to grub real quick and I'll be back.